What's up, guys? Finally getting one of these builds done. We took a different direction on it. Had it on a leather, but he's like, it'd be awesome if we could do a matching strap. And we weren't able to do a complete matching strap, but close enough because this dial was custom airbrush painted and laser etched. So he is a big Rush fan. So this is one of the album covers. So that was super difficult to create, for one, and then he wanted a band that matched. So we went with a black cerakote band and then a matching, which had to be layered a lot and then cleared. Matching caseback to go with the front. We added some clear on there because this is what's going to get hit a little bit more, so we want to make sure that holds its color a little bit better. So we did a brushed case, a brushed bezel with black accents. Nothing fancy on the crown or on the case. Just let the dial pop a little bit. Silver Omega style handset. Exhibition case back. Stainless steel movement holder, silver rotor in there. And that is his Rush build. So if you're into Rush, there you go. So that's what it is. Whenever he first sent it to me, I had no idea what it was. But Jim gets lots of stuff from me, and I'm glad I was able to come together finally with something on it. And we wanted to do the band this whole way, but it was way too difficult, and there's just too much moving parts on it for it to keep color and have it look proper from each direction. So so that is the build as a whole. And as always, I'll go over them a little bit. Bezel will move back and forth. It does not click. These are held on with a tension ring, but this is a little bit tougher to bump it yourself because it is slightly on the inside all the way around. These are automatic mechanicals, so how that works is you can wind them, you can put them on a winder, or you can wear them to keep them running. But if they're completely dead, like this was a moment ago, take it off the crown tubes until you hear it clicking. That's when you can wind it. A wind this way actually winds it backwards, does nothing, but it's a lot easier to just go back and forth and do release and re-grab, keeping the proper space so that you're not rethreading it or pulling it out into the wind motion. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you wear it, it will keep time even if you're not very active. If you wind it for something closer to 20 seconds, you will max out your 31-hour power reserve, and you can continue winding it all day. But you will not get more than the 31 hours, though I've had some go longer than that. So if you pull it to the one and only click, you can now set your time. This is not a hacking movement, so that second hand's going to keep going. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 3:41 p.m.
And it is 3:41 p.m. And since it's hard to kind of read the dial, at least in this light, just use your outside, so long as your bezel's lined up, right? Yeah, it'll be pushing 42, right? And thread it right back down. You'll notice that crown wobble, that's a wobble crown. It deflects lateral pressure on the movement, so when you're pushing and prying, it is not bending into the stem or putting pressure on the movement. It's rolling with it. So, and that is the build as a whole, upside down there. That to go with the dial. And since Jim has so many things from me on this one, we are not sending him the same as before. Normally I send out watch cleaner, but he's got a lot of watch cleaner. So just in case he's got NATO, sending him some NATO cleaner. This is good on all NATOs. So NATO strap care. It also works really well if you get a watch from somebody and they're a smoker. So also, he didn't have a leather on this one. And since he's got almost everything from me anyway, let's give him some rubber strap care. So this is good on your rubber straps. So a lot of times to keep them from snapping, you got to keep them kind of lubricated and wet. So this is one of those things. So stuff that I use on my stuff. And then as always, as if the other ones aren't as always, but he has so many of my builds, he has bottles and bottles and bottles that isn't even gone through yet. So fine scratch remover. You can't ever have too much of fine scratch remover. This is an acrylic glass. You can scratch it if you do. Just put a little bit on there and buff it out. Use something like the attached and included microfiber and generate a little bit of heat behind your thumb, and you will buff it out in about 15 seconds. So that is his rush build, and hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully Jim likes it, and if you want to continue to see builds like this, like and subscribe, and maybe I can build you something someday as well. Thanks for watching.